How we doing, my friends? Your Florida History Hunter today. We're coming from West DeLand. We're hiking South Grand Avenue, which they've got the entire road. They're doing a resurface on it now, and it appears that they've lowered the road. I don't remember it being down that deep. Seems to me that it was, they've ground it down a lot. And so we're just gonna walk down and back just to see like what they did with the dirt. Oh, I see what they did with the dirt. They're filling in, they're stealing road to fill in the low spot right there. I could see like out in the middle of that field where there's large mounds of fill, dirt. And so they've also cleared this right here, and I'm not sure what's going to be going on over here, but this was originally orange groves. What we got here, a modern beer bottle. So this was all orange groves at one time, all the way both sides of the road. So all of this land, all the way out in past that tree line out there to the right, and then all this tree line here, all of this, all the way down to that tree line out there where that car's coming at us. West past the DeLand train station is all going to be homes. I could hear music coming from the rodeo, Mexican rodeo. The wind's coming out, carrying a sound. What the heck is this? Beer bottle that's capped. It doesn't look very old. Here they're building the roadbed up. Okay, so there was originally a road here which you can see coming through, and it crossed over to the other side from when this was still orange groves. So that way led up, and then another road went across that way to where they did all the fruit packing and all. In case you're just joining us, this is your Florida History Hunter, and we're walking South Grand Avenue, which is over in West DeLand, and it runs from West DeLand out into north, all the way up, basically all the way up into DeLand Springs. It's all obtainable, reachable by going out that way. So they're resurfacing this road because it's sort of going to be the main highway into the new town that they're building in West DeLand. That's all built around the DeLand train station. A lot of people are freaking and flipping about the construction, and it came on extremely fast, but it's been in the working for a couple decades now. And they finally got to the realization of getting out there and actually got the train pushed in, got properties were selling really fast, etc., etc. Not seeing anything old. That stuff's all mostly modern. So we finally got a break from our heat wave here in Central Florida. Got into the mid-40s in our area, and it was a welcome difference. And I actually had to kick the heat on for about 45 minutes to take the moisture out of the air in the house. I live in a older wood frame house, elevated off the ground, and not much insulation, so that the dampness makes it appear it's a lot colder than it actually is. It's kind of like, I guess you can sort of compare it to like a wind chill of sorts. Alright, well, we walked pretty close to the circle right here. This is the circle. And this is the main highway, and it's 3 directions. Right now, 2 directions, east and west. Main highway crosses the state. And then the road we're on right now is going to be basically the main focal entry point to a whole new part of the town. And then going north, the other side of the circle, both sides of the road is going to be developments right up to the next major intersection. And it's not too far down the road on the left. It's all it was all, I think, clay pits, and became landfill. So this starting this woods right here, I'm not sure what's going on with this parcel, but behind it, let me get up here a little closer so we can visualize it together. So the parcel we're looking at now, that goes all the way out to that tree line, parallels the road, parallels the railroad track, which goes at a skew away, sort of like that. That's the railroad track. And then this property goes all the way out to that tree line out there. It hooks to the right and then goes behind this one all the way to the highway. So that's highway over there. Is going to be another entry point into this project, and that's just an assumption. They're going to have more than one way into this project and one way out, unless of course they're just going to keep the entries on this road. And if that's the case, and down the road a little bit, they're going to have issues with people trying to turn into the project. So all right, so now we're walking south, and you can see all the trees and all that they've ripped out, in addition to the trees that they have already extricated. And you notice they left one tree standing. That's a joke. See what we're looking at right now, how wooded that is? That's exactly what this looked like. And what do we got? One tree there, one tree out by the street. And here's the environmental fence, and out here they're pulling trees out too, basically on the swale. So are they supposed to be doing that? I'm kind of like wondering if that's supposed to be done or not. Alright, that's an older beer bottle, probably mid to late 1970s. It's interesting that so far all the stacks of bottles have been where the palm trees are. Oops, sorry. The palm trees. So you got palm trees, and then they have their like debris field, and that's where a lot of the bottles and stuff are caught up in that field right there. I guess it would help if you guys could see what I'm talking about. Here's another palm tree they ripped up right here. They started ripping up. They actually drove over it to try to knock it down, but you can't. I mean, look at the root ball that's in the ground right here. The only thing that happens is it just splinters, kind of shreds open. If you've ever tried to chainsaw a large palm tree, you would understand, like, it's a very fibrous tree this direction, and very fine fiber too, so it's really hard to cut it with a chainsaw, because the fibers start oh, this is cool. I'm looking at this washout here, and you can see not too far below the ground, it's all in its twisted roots everywhere, and those roots aren't giving life to anything anymore, nor are they getting life from anything anymore either. There's a pine tree or something they pulled out. Oh, that's an oak tree, and it was healthy. There's absolutely no reason that they would have pulled that out, other than the more trees they can alleviate, and the more houses they can build. I think it's nonsense. They shouldn't be allowed to drag that much of the flora off of a property and then have to depend on another 100 years or 50 years or 60 years, because this was all orange groves mostly, and so most of the trees that are here now have replaced the orange groves, and the orange groves replaced pine trees, because this is all the area where pine trees would have been, right through here. There's another tree they ripped out, and the root went all the way from there out to here. Another one was probably one of them, like one of those pine trees right there. Get the camera up a little bit so you can see them. And that pine tree there is about, it's probably in the 50 year range, and the smaller ones across the street, like that one right there, there's two of them side by side, those are probably in the 20 year range, give or take 5 or 10. So all these pipes are all marked Pelham Wall Rose. Now, I'm not sure what Wall Rose is, unless that's the streets. And I'm also wondering why these are in black and those are in unfinished concrete too. But Pelham is what this whole part of town's going to be called now, something Pelham, because all of these developments around here, planned projects, shopping centers, all have that name Pelham inside of it, but not Wellrose. So there's like Pelham Park, Pelham Crossing, Pelhams everywhere. Too many Pelhams. Here's another thing I find a little peculiar too, is they're redoing the road, but they're not widening it. With the amount of traffic that this sucker's going to see, this road is extremely undersized. Now would have been the time to let the developer pay for it instead of coming back in our pocket in a few years, which is what's going to happen. See, I could see a little bit of right here. I can see evidence of shell. I can see like there's like a little bit of glitter in the road surface here. To where there's shell coming up, and so the shell was came from the river back when back from one of the middens. Oh yeah, look at this pile of shell right here and right there. So I'm going to get down a little closer and we're going to take a look at this. I'm just looking to see if by chance there might be some Indian artifact mixed in with this little pile right here. It's odd, it's only right here. It looks like when they were scraping this area right here. Like, look, oh, this is all snail shell fill. But it doesn't go up into the hill. That's how I know it's roadbed. That's a lot of snail shells, people. It's a lot of snail shells. And the interesting thing is, each one of these, somebody had in their hand. And it's safe to make the statement, probably more than one person had their hands on this. Because you got to figure that, I mean, there's trillions to the trillionth power of these things laying around in piles along all the waterways. And then unknown truckloads of them and wagon loads of them were dug up from waterways and spread across the state as landfill and roadbed. Okay, here I'm seeing a lot of fill right through this area right here. I mean, listen to that road. It's pretty solid. And they pretty much scraped up the asphalt only. And then they started scraping this, there's a lot more shell in this here, this one too. So they start scraping all this up. What's that? That is the cap to a plastic bottle. So here, this is all roadbed. Midden, snail shell, somebody's escargot. All right, my friends, thanks for joining me. It's your Florida History Hunter, and that's the next thing to fall. And then that corner's supposed to come down too. It's just a triangle. You can see, watch the car go by. Keep watching. Keep watching. Keep watching right there. There it goes. So that's a triangle there. All that's supposed to be cleared. That's supposed to be part of the project. It goes from here to the end of the road all the way to the railroad tracks, and that's the 647 home project. Well, thanks for watching. Florida History Hunter. Follow that detour down to there. Click that subscribe button, that like button. Have a great day, fantastic night, and a beautiful tomorrow.